Hey guys, Christy Shelton from foreverandafter.com, and I wanted to make a video for you today to kind of explain a little bit about who I am and why I feel kind of empowered or driven to share my tips and tools for time management and kind of lifestyle changing. So my whole life I've been a people pleaser, and I habitually said yes to everything. I felt it was my obligation to always be the person that was there for everyone else. So anytime anybody asked me to do anything, it didn't matter what it was, how long it would take, or how busy I was, I would say yes. And then I would give up sleep and I would be irritable. My poor husband had to suffer because I was grumpy all the time, because I was always stretched to the max and then some. And people would always tell me that they didn't understand how I could get so much stuff done or how I accomplished so many things all the time. And a lot of times people didn't see behind the scenes that I was suffering emotionally and physically because of the fact that I couldn't say no to people. So that all changed for me about a year ago. I finally learned to say no with grace and be able to really evaluate the things that I was being invited to do and partake in, and choosing wisely the things that I was going to devote my time to so that I could live a less stressed, less crazy life. Many people see my schedule now and they think that it's still pretty crazy. And it is on some days. There are some days that I'm like super busy from morning to night. And some of that's on purpose. My husband right now is working 2 jobs. So when I do a lot of my business stuff and my creating stuff for my one-on-one groups and things like that, I tend to do that over the weekends, like in the evenings while he's at work, so that I don't have to spend as many hours working when he's home. And we can get some quality time in and really kind of cut loose and enjoy ourselves in our life. Life's too short to be tied to a desk and tied to something that you hate. So I'm a huge proponent of, like thinking outside the box and not being afraid to take a chance. And, one of my favorite things to think about is that you don't really grow wings. You jump off the cliff and you kind of develop them as you go down. You learn to fly because you have to. And so I try to keep that in mind every day, that, some things that push me outside my comfort zone are things that I really need to do, because those are the things that are growing me as a person. So I just kind of wanted to run over like what a basic day in my life is like, just so you can kind of get an idea. So my weekdays, I work a full-time job. I oftentimes work there 6 days a week. Almost always I work 7 days a week if they're open on Sundays. So I get up around 4. My first alarm goes off at like 4-ish, 4:15. I'm one of those people that has to set like 3 or 4 alarms because I hit snooze a million times. But I have to have my snooze set close enough, because if I end up falling back asleep, I'll actually sleep through my alarm. So my snooze goes off like every 3 or 4 minutes. It's really annoying, and it probably drives my husband crazy, but it is what it is. So for around 4:15, my first alarm goes off. I try to be out of bed by about 4:30, get my workout in, get in the shower, and depending on the day, it kind of dictates what time we leave for work. On Fridays, we leave the house so I can be at work at 6 a.m. Most of the other days, I usually try to be at work by about 6:40 or 6:45. So that's kind of where my day starts. I spend my breaks and lunches at work doing either my personal development. My first break of the day, I usually try to do my daily devotional, and I try to read my Bible. On my lunch break, I'll do things that take a little bit longer, pay my bills, balance my checkbook. Sometimes I'm reading a book or something, depending on what I'm working on and what my goals are for that day and for that week. I kind of use those little bubbles of time in my day to get things accomplished. And then depending on the day, I work till either like 4:15 on some days. Some days I work till 5:30 or 6. It just kind of depends on what time I went to work that day and how many hours I have to work that day. And then on Saturdays, I work from 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, just for my day job. And then I come home and do work for my business. So then the nighttime routine comes, like I said, depending on what time I get home. It's come home, take the dogs out. I usually will buckle down and do some kind of a video for my group or on my Facebook page. I write my blog. I start dinner. I usually, depending on the night, with my husband working nights at another job, I eat by myself sometimes. Sometimes I wait till he gets home to eat. His job, you never really know what time they're going to be home. So if I'm really hungry, I'll cook and then just leave the food so that he can eat when he gets home. Sundays, I usually try to like kind of plan and prep food for the week. We eat a lot of hard-boiled eggs. We do a lot of like fast snacks. I measure things out into baggies. I create like on-the-go snacks for like carrots and ranch and things like that. Stuff that you can buy prepackaged at the store, but I'm too cheap to actually pay like the $2 a package when I can make it for 50 cents. So I do a lot of that on Sundays. I make like protein bites, protein cookies sometimes, overnight oats, just various things like that. And then I usually will either go to the grocery store on Sundays, or I will order groceries on Sunday or Monday morning, and we stop and pick them up at the grocery store on the way home from work. So once I get dinner and stuff out of the way, I have to feed the dogs. And then I usually sit down for a couple hours and really pour them into my business, whether it's, navigating my blog posts, creating new content, creating tools to help my challengers be more successful. Sometimes I schedule one-on-one calls with people. Just kind of depends on what is on the task list for that day. But my days are usually really busy, and they start really early, and I'm lucky if I go to bed or get to sleep by midnight. If I watch TV, it's like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night, or it's me watching TV while I'm doing something else. I drive my husband crazy because sometimes in the car I'll have like one headphone in and I'll be listening to a TV show that I'm watching. Like I just finished up, what am I watching now? I finished the whole season of Pretty Little Liars, and Gossip Girl, I just finished the season finale today. So I oftentimes will listen to TV shows instead of being able to watch them because I just don't really have time to watch TV. I do a lot of audiobooks, a lot of like listening to personal development webinars, a lot of things like that you can do while you're doing something else. And then what I like to do is have the audiobook and then also be able to go back and read like the paper copy of the book. So my life is busy. I get it. I get that you're a mom, or, wherever you are in life. At this point in time, we don't have any kids. We have 2 dogs. We lost our only pregnancy to miscarriage. I have a whole mini series on that. So if that's something you're dealing with, be sure to check out my YouTube channel or the other posts on my site here, and you can kind of follow my story with miscarriage. We haven't been able to conceive yet after our miscarriage. So that's something that we're working on, and we hope to eventually be parents. But until that happens, I kind of brand myself as a fur mom, I guess you could say. And, I really understand that life is busy, but at the same token, I understand that life is too short to be a slave to somebody else and somebody else's goals and somebody else's plans. And, I fully believe that you have to catch your dreams and live them forever. Like, instead of just chasing your dreams, I want you to catch them, and I want you to hang on tight, and I want you to ride those dreams forever, because when you live your dream life or some semblance of your dream life, it's amazing how much happier you can be and how much worry-free you can be. You can really be a completely different person with a few simple changes in life and really pushing yourself to get the things that you really want in life. So I encourage you every day to catch your dreams and live them forever. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon.